Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unique Peace. I am Janice. I am your host. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher and Medium here on Long Island. Today, I will be joined by Lindsay Walter. She is a Balanced Lifestylist based out of Michigan. She has a 4-pillar program with wellness, self-care, relationships, and she's going to tell us about the last one because I just forgot. I apologize. So join me in welcoming Lindsay Walter, everybody. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. How is life in the wonderful state of Michigan?
So far, we're in our January melt, so today it's a little bit sloppy, but although otherwise life is good.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And so I have a question. So you are a balanced lifestylist. Can
Yeah.
you kind of define what that is? How did you get there?
So it kind of came to me one day. You know how when you kind of feel like you need a little change in life and maybe you decide, okay, I need to update my look. I'm going to go to a hairstylist, kind of give it a little razzle dazzle. Or perhaps you're looking around your home or looking around your wardrobe and you're like, I'm just feeling like there's an evolution in who I am coming, and it's time to maybe change up the way I present myself in life with my wardrobe or the way I decorate and have the energy in my home. You may go to a personal stylist or even hire someone to come in and do a little change up with interior design in your home. When you are looking to change up the energy in your life, perhaps you're feeling burnt out, perhaps you're feeling overwhelmed, perhaps you're feeling sluggish and know there's things that you need, but every little bit of health and wellness propaganda, especially this time of year that we're seeing, doesn't resonate, you come to me. I'm the Balanced Lifestylist. So I'm here to help people reclaim balance in their lives through my 4-pillar method and for balanced living. And that is self-care, wellness, personal development tools, and relationships.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And what was a pivotal moment for you on your journey to becoming that? I know
So
you kind of discussed why, but what was your moment?
yeah, so I would say I have two core memories that really changed who I am and how I live this life and how I came to be the balanced lifestyle guide. And that is the first is New Year's Eve. You know how everyone kind of does their word of the year. This was, I think, 2017, 2018. I was feeling so unbalanced. I was, starting to raise my husband, are now my bonus daughters. She was, in her teenage years, young teenage years. We are trying to blend our family. We were trying to figure out what our life is going to look like. My husband had just started a business and things were just a roller coaster in life. And I chose the word balance for my year, for my word of the year. I was going to reclaim balance. So I put it in, I'm like, yes, balance it is. I'm going to reclaim balance. And then you know how Facebook pulls up those memories for you of like, this happened
Yes.
2 years ago. Well, Facebook, about a week later, about a week into the new year, reminded me that my year 3 years before that was balance. And so then I went down and I'm like searching the other years or the other things that happened on those dates. And it was like my word of the year, balance, my word of the year, balance. And it was this aha moment that, okay, clearly I have been searching for balance in my life for at least 3 years. And whatever I'm doing is not working because here I am still searching for balance. And I said, okay, we're going to switch gears and I'm going to find new ways to truly reclaim balance because what I'm doing isn't working. And then I'm going to fast forward a little bit to my second core memory,
Yes.
which is about a year later or so, maybe a little bit less than a year. I was sitting in our home. It was September, and I was sitting in the kitchen, and we had just purchased our home. We had just moved in, and I was doing a social media class online, a big program, like a master class.
Gotcha.
And I had been given the journal prompt, to picture my perfect day. And I wrote it all down. I'm like, I want to work from home. I want to get my son off on the bus. I want to, have my clients come to me, and I want to enjoy living in this home, yada, yada, yada. And that was 2019, September. So basically the following year, September, after we were kind of reopening our worlds again, I was sitting outside on my back porch having my cup of coffee. It was September. My son had gotten off to go to school on the bus. I was getting ready, enjoying a little bit of peace, meditating, coffee, before my clients were coming to my Zen room in my backyard to do my day of work. And I had this moment of, everything that I wrote down on that very day has happened. That balance, that peace that I had been so badly wanting, I did for myself. And so I took a moment, I grabbed my journal, my morning pages journal, and I started writing down everything that I did to get to this moment of peace, to reclaim balance for myself. If I can do it, I can teach the world. And that is how my 4-pillar method for balanced living came to be.
That is beautiful. So we have a couple people watching this morning. Michael is one of them. He says, "Good morning, ladies."
Good
So
morning,
we welcome
Michael.
Michael. If you're out there and you're watching, please do let us know that you're here. We would love to hear from you. And that's beautiful, because I've done things like that as well. You write out your perfect day. You let the universe know. You work with the universe. It's a beautiful thing. Sometimes it can be a very big struggle. Let's remember, we are human, so we all tap in. I'm just as guilty as the next person doing what we do, that sometimes it's a struggle. You have to admit and commit.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I'm doing it and I know it's a struggle, because I too have a program, that it's like, I'm right there with you. I'm not leaving you alone. I'm not leaving you alone. So you
Yeah.
did that for yourself, and you are there for your clients, and that's beautiful. And I applaud that.
And I definitely I continue to live it every single day too. That's why I like to use the word reclaim balance, because for me, I feel like having balance in your life, reclaiming it, that's a lifetime long story. So it's
Absolutely.
something that you're constantly working on. But I've heard different podcasts lately, and I've seen different things where it's like, why are you trying to go for balance? You're never going to have balance in your life. Move on. And well, perhaps that's not sustainable, but the color of your hair isn't sustainable. People tend to dye it once the grays start to come in,
Good
or
point.
your health is not always sustainable. We're constantly working on our wellness. We're working on all of these things in our life. We're working on keeping our house clean. Just because you clean it once doesn't mean it's going to stay clean, especially as a mom.
Oh, yeah.
Even just being a pet mom, there's dog hair in my house. If I didn't sweep my floor, I would have husky hair, a foot tall on my floor. So it's reclaiming that balance. It's that lifelong journey, that lifelong story of reclaiming it in your life.
And doing the work daily.
Yep, absolutely.
So in finding balance, I would like to say that's a nice transition into, how do you, Lindsay, define peace for yourself? How is that defined?
I love to define peace, again, in 2 words: joy and stillness. There are moments throughout your day, throughout your life, core memory moments, or just simple treasure moments in the day, where you can feel still. Or there are times in your day or in your life where you've accomplished something so major that you feel such incredible joy. And in those moments, for me, I feel peace, whether that's for myself or helping someone else reclaim balance or do something amazing. It's not all about the balance. It's just helping people. My purpose in life is helping people to live better lives. That's my journey here. And so when there are moments that I'm taking for myself or that I'm giving to others where there's a big accomplishment and that utter joy is there, or those moments of quiet reflection and stillness. Peace.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yes.
Helen is out there saying good morning to everyone.
Hi, Helen. Good morning.
So joy and stillness, I think those are two great words when it comes to peace.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very self-reflective and they are very inner zen.
Yeah.
So when you are in those moments, I would like to know how you find peace. So how do you find joy and how do you find stillness?
That's been an evolution for myself as I've gotten a little bit older and a little wiser. I would say really reclaiming time, taking time in the day to find that moment of stillness. I have, a neuro spicy brain. I've got ADD, and if I have it, my brain is very much the if you have time to lean, you have time to clean brain. So when I finally sit down for a day and I'm looking across the room and I'm going, yeah, okay, so there's still a glass next to my sink. I should probably just go clean that. Or, okay, I feel like I just heard the dryer click off. Or my son's going to be off the bus soon. Maybe I should get a snack and be that mom that greets their son with a sweet little snack because I've always wanted to be that mom. When I'm doing those things, I'm not creating stillness for myself. I'm creating a lot of joy in ways because I'm having a clean home or meeting my son and giving him that moment of joy with nourishment from a snack after school. But it's also reminding myself that it's okay to take that moment of stillness, to reclaim that bit of time, that the world does continue to spin if there's a glass next to my sink. So finding that peace a lot of times is giving myself permission to take a little time for myself in stillness. It doesn't even have to be in meditation. It could simply be sitting or standing, doing a little bit of breath work, closing my eyes, having a moment of gratitude, and enjoying that stillness. And there's joy to be found in the stillness as well. And that is ultimate peace.
I absolutely agree. One of my dear friends, one of my good friends says that the best time to find peace is when her husband is at work, the boys are at school, and she's alone with her cup of coffee and the cats. And she just sits there and does nothing. And as a mom, yeah, agree. So you're echoing it in many ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of expectation I feel that can be put on moms. And I think with the birth of social media, which is such a beautiful tool to connect with people like you across the world, or for us across the Eastern time zone, I feel like it's a wonderful tool. However, it also comes with a little bit of pressure to have this bit of perfectionism or to constantly be doing because moms have to do. And fortunately, I found a beautiful husband that is so willing to balance out the things that I need to do. He reads my mind. He just notices and just does because we live in this home together. We raise our children together. We do tasks together, which is beautiful. But I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to constantly doing so. Like your friend, as soon as everyone's out of the house, she can give that moment to herself because she's feeling like no one's there to judge her, and her cat is only going to enjoy 1,000 little pets on the lap. So
absolutely. Our cat, we have coffee time. She sees me with a mug and she's like, oh, okay, we're sitting down. It's like, I don't even get a chance to sit down sometimes. And she's like swatting me like, okay, so this is that for Suki, that is her peaceful moment, her quiet time.
yes.
I love it. I love it. I do enjoy it myself. So, Helen, wow, my ADHD hyperactivity is all cerebral. Physical, I can stay completely still. Physical for hours while my brain runs miles. So, as that kind of leads us into the next question. So, as someone with a brain that goes 90 miles an hour, Lindsay, how would you advise somebody like Helen, because you understand it more, on kind of like quieting that mind?
Yes. So, one of the first steps that I took in reclaiming my balance in my life was transcendental meditation. So it had really been in my awareness. I had seen the words transcendental meditation. I had an idea of what it was, but I thought, okay, a new meditation practice. Let's see what that is. So to truly practice TM, they call it, you find a local guru who will teach you over sometimes a 6 to 8 week period. They give you a mantra that you can only speak to them out loud. You cannot actually speak it out loud to anyone else. It's just something that you repeat. So the best, most beautiful part about this is you have a busy mind while you're quieting your mind. So as you're repeating your mantra that's given to you for 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes AM and PM, your life, your brain can just flow. You don't have to first try to find that pure white light and quiet your mind. For people that have busy minds like us, it's impossible. We can try, but the mind keeps going. So all you simply do is you repeat your mantra over and over and over again for 20 minutes, no more, no less. And if your brain starts to go, if you start thinking about your grocery list, let your mind think about your grocery list and then pick up that mantra and keep going. So if that's something like for you, Helen, that you are looking to try to add something in your day to quiet, you can even just pick your own word, or if there's a phrase of affirmation or something that means something to you, you can give that to yourself and just repeat that silently to yourself for 20 minutes. And for me, I have full movies happening. If I close my eyes, I have full visuals, full color, full
I
movies.
understand.
Yeah. So I just allow those things to happen while I'm repeating my mantra. And it's amazing how much your brain processes in that time by just allowing it to flow and not fighting it. And then you'll notice after your 20 minutes, once you start to go through your day, you found a lot of the answers to the guidance that your brain is seeking. And you've already processed all of that stuff. So you kind of feel more clear as you move on. So doing that AM and PM is a really great way to start, especially if you're physically able to sit still, but you just need to quiet the mind.
Beautiful. And I was going to have a follow-up question. What if you don't have a local guru or you can't leave the house? And you sort of alluded to it. So is there something like online, or is it just
I
practice?
think, yeah, I mean, you can simply just do that for yourself. The way that I learned, traditional TM was going through those channels. Um, it is also an expensive process for some people. They do it on a sliding scale, but if it's just simply not within your means in any way, shape, or form, don't say, oh, well, I wish I could do it, but I can't. Simply set a timer or look at a clock. I just like to do a quiet timer that buzzes. And, I look at it a little bit, but I just find 20 minutes in the morning and in the evening. I will be honest and say I'm not great about practicing it in the evening, but I am really good at the morning. And find yourself a word, a mantra, anything that means something powerful to you, and have that be it. And just get into that practice. And know that when you're just creating that stillness, there's really no wrong way. Just creating that time for yourself and allowing your mind to flow. I like to tune in a bit and do some ohms and do some chanting. And I like to call in my guides in order to, if I have things that I'm working through my mind, you can do all of that. And you can do that in the privacy of your home. You don't have to leave your home, and you don't have to spend a penny doing that.
I actually, when I do my meditation training, is on the same lines as you.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can meditate while folding the laundry. I've done it more than once.
Absolutely. For sure.
Helen says, "Thank you. That means I've been on the right track. Many spiritual practices are difficult to adapt on a differently abled brain," which is very true.
Yes, 100%. And Helen, if I may just add one more thing to that, when I'm working with clients, and they're like, I'm trying to meditate, or I'm trying to connect with my spirit guides, or I'm trying to do this or that, and I just don't know that I am. I always like to say, if you feel as though you are receiving guidance, if you feel as though you have found a little peace in that 20 minutes of TM, whatever it is, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. I think people get in their head a little too much trying to, be perfect in their practice. But another reminder is it's called a practice, not a perfection. And it's just
I
something that
love
we're
that.
doing, yeah, every day. So don't be too hard on yourself. Just allow it to happen and know that, again, pillar 2 of my 4-pillar method of balanced living is self-care. So sitting for 20 minutes or doing something to tap into your practice is self-care, and that's a yes.
So, yes. And that leads us to the second question I love to ask, and that's, how do you bring others peace, Lindsay? How do you bring peace to others?
Absolutely. Like I said before, my purpose here on life is to help people live better lives. I started out as a massage therapist, and I'm working my way out of that career as I truly focus more on my balanced lifestyle work. But my purpose, the way that I bring peace is through education, is through helping people to find that balance, that peace in their lives. So I'm a certified meditation and breathwork coach and facilitator. I'm a sound healer, and those are some of the ways. So I help my clients through guided meditation. I offer sound bath healing. I do crystal healing, one-on-one and in group settings, and talk about a wonderful way to find peace. And then also in my one-on-one coaching practices with my balanced lifestyle business. And I'm also a keynote speaker. So in groups large and small, I talk to audiences and teach them my 4-pillar method in order to help create that peace in their life.
That is beautiful, and I love how you're helping your clients, but let's bring it down a little bit more myopically.
Mhm.
And you had mentioned before we started, you have a blended family.
Yes,
So, as a member of a blended family, both as a in childhood and kind of in adulthood, what are ways to bring your family peace, like your daughter and your son and your husband, especially at times when maybe we want to all being family dynamic, sometimes we just want to scream at each other.
absolutely. So our house, we call it a judgment-free zone. So have your hair, be the person you are. Any sort of gender, sexual identity, anything like that. Our home is a place of peace. Our home is a judgment-free zone. It's a way and it's a sanctuary to live the life that you want to live, be the person that you want to live. And in doing so, it's created freedom for anyone that enters our home, our family, to live a life of peace because you've taken that personal torment part out, the worry of judgment, the worry of anything. And in giving the freedom of being a judgment free zone, my children have come to me so many times over their lives with true issues in their life. And they know that I'm going to listen, that I'm going to offer any guidance that I'm able to offer, or simply just say, would you like me to help you find an answer? Or do you just need a helpful ear? And in doing so, I feel like our house has just become this sanctuary of peace. Our children like to have their friends over. I think our previous relationships that my husband and I were in, there was, yelling and a lot of loudness in those households. And we're more sensitive souls that don't feel the need to raise our voices in order to get a point across. So we're a very quiet home. There's music, there's joy, there's laughter, there's a lot of love, and talk about peace.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And as you're going through your day and as we days turn into weeks, turn into months, turn into years, what have you discovered about where you started before your peaceful journey, before your balanced life journey, to where you are now? Can you identify pitfalls, or, oh, that had a moment where I had to pivot or I had to move around and become more peaceful? Because as we know, as we're on our journey, whether it's spiritual or just balancing our lives out, we are going to run into those pitfalls and turns, and being able to pivot and kind of swerve on a moment's notice without losing it in any way, shape, or form is not necessarily easy. I mean, we are humans, so we go on this journey together. On your journey, can you note specific times in your life where I was like, oh, wait, no, I got to take a step back and be peaceful?
Absolutely. I have it in one of my keynote speeches, this story that I tell, that as a massage therapist, I'm working on my client and we're chit-chatting. I couldn't tell you what we're chit-chatting about now, but I think she had asked me a question and I was answering it. I generally like to give my massage clients a chance to maybe do a little chit-chat if they want, and then find their peace and their quiet on the table. But we were chit-chatting and I'm working on her shoulders. And I must have been talking about my ex-husband. I know I was at that time. And I'm working and I'm digging. And finally, she almost jumped off the table and she's like, "Don't take your anger on your husband and out on me." And yelled it. And I was, whoosh, it's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't realize." She's like, "Just because you're mad at him doesn't mean my shoulder needs it." I was energetically, we were working on it. And I think as I was talking, it was releasing out of my body. And I was just crushing her rather than helping her to find her peace. And that was such an aha moment. Like you said, truly hands off, take a step back and thought, okay, there's turmoil in my life. There's turmoil in this relationship that is now moving through me into my business and into my clients. And that's A, unprofessional, and B, I need to take a step back and really evaluate what is going on in my life to have gotten to that point. That is a pivotal moment and really helped me to start paying attention to some of the red flags that I had been avoiding in that relationship, and helped me to kind of evaluate myself and the life that I choose to live and the way I want to move through my hours and minutes and days and months and years, and eventually did pivot out of that relationship in order to truly find peace. Because through couples therapy, through personal therapy, through doing the work, doing the healing practices, it wasn't something that I was going to have peace in, and I needed to move on.
And that's actually a very beautiful example, because many of us don't know. We don't know unless you're doing the work. You think it's the other person, or I'm fine, everything's okay, I don't know what you're talking about. In reality, you take that moment to step back, and unfortunately for your client, and fortunately for you, it was one of those great moments. It's like, wait, this hurts.
And she did come back. Anyway. She did come back for more massages. So
that's great. So I find that wonderful that you were able to have that moment with that client.
Yeah.
And that actually leads to the next question is, and what's in your toolbox? Say you have a moment like that where you feel like a client is taking things, and you're in a group setting. We'll put you in a group setting, and what you're hearing and what the room is feeling is unique to that person, and it's not necessarily bringing peace. How would you help that person? You've got like 5 minutes. You're like, whoa, we gotta change this before this takes like a wrong turn in Albuquerque here. What's in your toolbox to like kind of bring it down and bring it back to peace?
I think one of the best ways to diffuse situations such as that, where you're just trying to help someone through something and maybe you're kind of butting your heads against the wall, I find personal ownership is one of the best ways to start. So, teaching my clients ownership, step one, of how am I truly feeling in my body? Let's get honest for a moment. What are things that are within my control that I can change today, that I can release today, that I could do today very, very simply to start the ball rolling? So if you're in a whole group setting and you're talking to someone and you're trying to bring them down, trying to help them reclaim peace in their body and in their mind, you can actually take ownership in yourself for that, in a way, for that person, so they can to create a mirror. So, you know, Lindsay, I am so sorry that you are feeling this way in your body right now. I can understand the energy of this group can be overwhelming, but what are ways that we can support you in order to feel a little bit more peaceful in your body and giving that floor? So I'm not taking their feelings away. I'm honoring their feelings. I'm sorry that the energy of that group has caused you to feel unsettled, and then offering, but giving them the floor. What are ways that we can support you to feel a little bit more peaceful in your mind and your body, and let them name it? Because I might say, okay, just take a deep breath. You need to calm down. But we all know that telling someone to calm down is
Yeah.
like the worst thing. It's like, whoa. So, having that ownership and using that ownership to create a mirror for them to then for them to then take ownership and name the things that they need for support, can bring it down very quickly, or at least start the ball rolling.
Rolling. Yes. Raven is joining us. She is Lead with Energy. So we welcome Raven.
Hello.
And I agree with you on the creating the mirror and how can we help you? What can we do to support you? Because I have a tendency to be very type A.
Mhm.
I didn't mellow out until I had my son. I was that type A. It's like, so telling someone who is specifically, I can say from personal experience, even my own mom, telling a type A person specifically, calm down, breathe, is the surest way to send us into a tizzy.
Yes.
It's like, I am calm is usually what I would say. And my mom will be like, she'll look at me with that look of, are you sure? So I love how you say it's like, okay, what can we do to support you? Whether it's that, do you need to take that breath? Do you need to go outside and scream in the woods?
Yeah.
Do you want us to come with you when you do that and just have one more, big release?
Mhm.
So I do love that. And the accountability factor,
Yeah.
because we are accountable for ourselves and the peace we do or do not feel.
Yeah. And we have autonomy as well. I mean, if there's someone we're trying to diffuse, if they're like, I just need to go, then allow them also that peace to go to remove themselves from an overwhelming situation. So rather than saying, no, 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 stay, we're sorry, blah, 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 stay. That's not going to help. It's going to prolong an unease in the energy of the entire group. So if they say, what can I do to support you? And you're like, you know what? I just need to go. Say, thank you so much for your time with us today. I can't wait to see you again. So you don't always have to apologize either, or that sort of thing, for accountability or ownership. You can, I loved having you. Thanks for joining our group. I can't wait to see you again. I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And another scenario, because as parents of teenagers, sometimes no, we are not all right. Um, so, and I find that being a safe space for my son, like I know that there you get the attitude, you get the tone, you get the grunting because I have a boy. I have the grunting versus the screaming when you have a girl. Um, so, um, and helping our kids find peace. I know for me, like being that safe space, he's gonna come to me when he's ready. I annoy him, but by letting him know that I'm there, I annoy him, but at least he knows I'm there. Um, and creating that safe space for him. For parents of teens or even little kids, because helping little kids find peace is easy in the beginning, but then they have that shift around 11 and 12 and the identity crisis for like sometimes the rest of our lives. But the identity crisis, how do you help your children find peace? You have them at there's an age gap there, and the age gap is actually helping you understand. It's like, okay, when your sister was your age, this worked. And I have discovered that you're the same age and it isn't. So
Yes.
what have you learned about helping your children find peace? And what do you think you can offer parents as a way to help their kids find peace?
So I've got one of my best friends, Waja. She has 2 master's degrees in childhood development, but it's truly about the way their brains develop. So she's in the classroom observing children and the way they learn. So she can identify different triggers. She can identify different ways, talk with parents, talk with teachers, and develop a plan for their specific brain. And it's wild. It's amazing.
That's
So one
amazing.
thing she told me, which is the first thing that we do, and it really helps to set the tone for peace in an after school setting, but it really can truly be used. When you get home from work or your family gets home and it's like, hi, what's for dinner? Where's my this? Where's the, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Can you give me 5 minutes? Like I just finished my work day. I just need 5 minutes and then I'll answer your questions, but like, let me have my moment. It's the same for children. So when they come off the bus or you pick them up and they get in your car and you say, hi, how was your day? I missed you. Are you hungry? Tell me about your day. How was your science
So
thing?
guilty.
How was your presentation? Yeah. And they like go, I don't know. I don't know. Well, why aren't you talking? How was your day? I don't know. Well, how'd this go? I don't know. And then they like get more agitated and then you're like, wait, I'm excited. I missed you. What the heck? And you're like, God, okay. We've all had those. I have had that in my car too many times where I finally asked my friend Waja, okay, so Ivor's doing this. What's happening? She reminded me of how do you feel when you are attacked when you first get home with the what's for dinner?
You're attacked by love.
You're attacked by love. So what we do is you switch it and you say, get in the car. Hi, how was your day? It was great. Are you? But then we say, are you in the right mindset to talk about your day, or would you like a little time? And sometimes Ivor will say, I can talk about my day. And I'll say, great, tell me about it. Or sometimes he's like, I just want to get home and have a snack, and then I'll be ready to tell you. And it's that autonomy that's so big in helping to help people have peace and joy in their lives, giving them the space to live their lives in practice their own autonomy. How was your day? It was great. Do you have the bandwidth right now to talk about it? Or would you like a little bit of time? And when you're ready, you can tell me about your day. Talk about diffusing. So doing things like that with my children, I have 2 very, very different children. And that's one big thing is realizing that every person is different. So you can have 5 children in your house. You're going to have 5 unique personalities.
Yep.
So the way that you parent is going to just be different.
Yes.
When they say, well, Billy got this at age 12, why don't I have this? It's like, Billy is this person. And we love Billy because of this, but you are your person. And this is what me as a parent is noticing that you need right now, not necessarily this. But when I'm talking to my children, I always ask, are you in a place where you'd like to share? Are you in a place where you like this? Or how would you like me to be in this conversation? And allowing them, like I said before, where they're like, I just need you to listen. Don't fix me. Don't offer suggestions. I'm overwhelmed. But I just need to talk and say, okay, I'm here for you. And anytime you need a hug, I'm here too. Offering the autonomy, offering the body autonomy, because trying to hug kids, sometimes they don't want to be touched, but giving them the choice and giving them the voice in order to, work through every situation starts in that home. But then as they're in relationships in their lives and as they're growing and dealing with friends that are sometimes being a jerk, or maybe a partner that's not quite, listening or hearing them the way that they need to be heard, they will have then used their voice for their life and say, honestly, can you just listen to me right now? I don't need you to fix me, but I just need to vent. Is that cool? They will have the ability to do that.
That is
Your
beautiful.
question.
No, it did.
Yeah.
It did. Because I'm also very much guilty of attacking my son with love. How was your day? Tell me about this. Tell me about that. And he's kind of like, lady, you talk too much.
Yeah.
He said that to me in the car. You talk too much. You're nosy.
It's so funny because as excited as we are for our children to leave our house in the morning, we're like, just get on the bus. We're like, oh, he's almost home. I get to see him, It's funny. We miss our kids.
We do. Mine is closer to the age of your daughter and like ready to move out. He has told me, he goes, when I move out, you're not coming with me. And I've told him, I'll help you pack.
Yeah. Bye.
You're not supposed to stay here.
Yeah. Yep.
You can always come home, but you're not supposed to stay.
And as they start to linger, you say, hey, so what's your plan? Mm-hmm. What's your plan? What are your next steps? How can I support you in your next steps?
Yeah. So I love that. And yes, it answered the question in helping other parents, because sometimes we forget, like you said, we like, give me a minute. I got to start dinner. Just give me a minute. We forget that our kids might need that too.
Yeah. It's that peace within themselves, knowing that they have autonomy and helping them to find that and using their voice and finding their own boundaries in life. It's going to set themselves up for such a beautiful future.
Yes, absolutely. And I would like to thank you for all that you've shared about what brings you peace and how you bring peace. And again, if you are interested in learning more or having a conversation with Lindsay about being in a balanced life, you could definitely reach out to her. She's on Facebook. Her website is listed on the description here, and we'll highlight it again in the chat after the show. But I want to say thank you, Lindsay, for being on Unique Peace and sharing all you have with us and giving us some new ideas that we all need to consider.
Thank you so much for having me. I've enjoyed my time, and I hope that everyone that listens and tunes in today has had a chance to reclaim a little peace for themselves.
Yes, I'm going to put you in the green room. 1 second. Again, thank you everyone for joining us on Unique Peace today. I would like to tell you that next week we have Wern's story. She is a wonderful human that I am excited to have on. She is she started a magazine called Just Being, and we'll discuss that. And also I have Jill Schultz coming up. She is a best-selling author, and she's going to discuss how to find and overcome peace through, she has a wonderful story, and it's about shame and how she has come from shame to peace. So she's going to actually be on Thursday, February 8th. So another special episode. And I would welcome you all to join us on those days. And Michael, thank you for joining us. And that was wonderful. That was wonderful. And we will see you guys next week.